CreezOn. Welcome to the You Are Me, because you are me. And this channel is for warriors of truth and self-mastery. I want to talk about why you have to be delusional to succeed. And it's a weird one because you have to be delusional to succeed. But at the same time, that delusion has to be balanced with sense. Like, you can't just be fully delusional in it. You have to be good at what you do in it. But it takes a level of delusion to believe that you can achieve something that you've never seen before or that no one else believes yet. Like, every day I have to tap into a level of delusion because I'm not necessarily physically where I want to be yet. But in my mind, I can still see that vision. And even though my whole reality does not align necessarily with that vision yet, every day I'm striving with that vision in my head. So some might call that delusion. Obviously, there's a few words we could call it, but right now let's refer to that as the delusion. You get me? A lot of the time we see delusion as a bad thing, but is it necessarily a bad thing? Because nothing's bad or good in itself, and it's how we use it. So I think it's important to use delusion to our advantage, because sometimes when we try to be too realistic, we kind of limit what we can do by thinking that we are only able to do a certain amount, when we could actually tap into that delusion and say, what if I can do more than what I previously conceived myself to be able to do? So we have to tap into delusion. Delusion is not bad. I think the whole concept of delusion, me even making this video about delusion, kind of begs the question, what is delusion? Because if we're seeing delusion as something where, you're not thinking in the way that's the general paradigm of society, or something that means you're not thinking correctly, quote unquote, is that true? Because delusion could just mean that you're thinking outside the box. And there's nothing wrong with thinking outside the box, because there is a space outside the box. So I actually had to just hold on meds before I even made this second section of the video, because I started thinking to myself, what even is delusion? And is it something that we should have a fear towards, or have a fear of embodying? Because delusion is not bad, as I said. I think if we tap into that level of, thinking outside of what we think is real and what we think, is safe to stay within the constraints of, I think that can open us up to more opportunities and things in our life that we didn't even think were possible before. Because for me, I used to be very boxed with how I think, and with not necessarily what I thought I could achieve, but I don't know, kind of, maybe I was boxed in a sense of thinking, what can I achieve, to be fair? Because I remember when I met Ree, she's right here. I know she wanted to be on camera, but she was very much more open-minded to exploring different things than I was, in a sense of, like, for example, we've started a clothing brand 2022, I think it was, or 2021. And along the journey, she was much more quick with the way she moved and used different tools. And I was a bit more like realistic, like that's not gonna work because of this. And I think we should wait and see where I go on, because I don't know about jumping into things, which I still do value that mindset, to be fair, because I think it's important to have a, discerning mind. But at the same time, I learned from her, specifically, that you can think outside the box and you can, kind of be delusional in a sense, because it's not, there's nothing wrong with exploring. But I think when you balance delusion with that level of wisdom and discernment, so you're not blocking your mind from the opportunities that you might be encountering, then I think that's the correct mindset to have, because you've got the balance of freedom and navigation. So I think that's the balance of logic and creativity. That's the true balance when we're actually navigating this world, because there's two sides of the brain, and that's the logic and the creative. So there's so many ways for us to practically balance those two sides. And I think that's a great way of putting it, if I do say so myself. So yeah, let's tap into a bit of delusion. I'm talking to myself, gotta tap into a bit of delusion. So every day I'm thinking to myself, this is my life, in a sense of I'm looking in my mind at my dream life and I'm thinking, even though I can see this, my life is the one in my head, that dream life, that's what I'm manifesting, that's what I'm feeling right now. I want to feel the feelings of my dream life right now, right here, right now. And that's how I'm gonna keep operating as I move forward, because that's the only way it's gonna happen. I saw a video today, he showed me, and it was about this woman, well, not about this woman, but it was this woman talking about manifestation. She was talking about how you have to feel the feelings of the version of you that is in its dream life. And I think that's how I'm gonna move now. I'm gonna stop thinking, oh, but I'm not there, and how am I gonna get there? I need to start doing. Obviously, I'm gonna keep thinking. I'm gonna keep thinking about what I'm gonna do and plotting and you know, taking actual logical steps towards the goal. But I don't want to be too. I don't want to feel so distant from the goal. If you know what I mean. I don't want to feel distant from the goal anymore, because it's not that far. Nothing's far. Like everything's right here, innit? Like, and that's the truth of it. Everything is right here. Everything's part of the one. Everything is in the present moment. The present moment is right here, right now, at all times. Always has been and always will be. So that's what I'm on. I need to remember this, because it's so easy to get caught up in your emotions, your lower emotions. And when you're in your lower emotions, you're very far away from your higher emotions, essentially. And your higher emotions are what you want to be feeling, because you want to be feeling that higher version of yourself that we're envisioning in it. So this is what I'm on, man. I'm on this healthy level of delusion, and I think you should be too. But that's all I wanted to say. You need to be delusional to succeed, to an extent, with some balance. But that was me, CreezOn. This was the you want me, because you want me. We're not outside today, we're inside, but it's all good. We're always outside, you get me? Always inside, but always outside. Yeah, man, blessings, people. Them subscribe if you felt this and it resonated. Blah.